Well, we are edging towards a summer in which I expect a very big transfer window as we go for the last big push in this save. We've already got one player agreed and we'll meet them in a minute. A big signing on the way to this football club. We've also got a cup final to worry about now with a runaway leader in Scotland. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 158 of this Build a Nation story, Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. It is a two-horse race again at the top of the Irish Premiership as Linfield are just 2 points behind us with 5 games to go. However, today the focus is on the SPFL trophy and of course the Irish Cup semi-final as well. The big news though is that we have got our first deal agreed for the summer and we are going to meet a huge signing I think is the second biggest in our history. If you're looking forward to all of that, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. I'm really looking forward to what this new squad is going to bring. And there are going to be a few legends leaving the club this summer. So let's hope they can go out with a bang by winning games like this. We start with the transfer centre for a big signing coming in. His contract being discussed, but it is all but agreed. And he's a man who could cost us £6.5 million with 5.5 of that guaranteed. Would put him just about level with Davis as our biggest ever signing. And just like Davis, he's a centre-half. 18-year-old Leo Donnell is a young American from Seattle Sounders. And look how good he is. At 18 years of age, he will join us and become homegrown at the club. He is already at first team level and will probably get even better. And I'm looking ahead to the last bit of this save now and thinking we have got to get superstars. And if we can get ones that will be homegrown at the club, even better. And we've also had our latest youth intake. Was a little bit disappointing, but we have got one player in who has already made a debut. That man is Shane Lowry, who is 1.5 star ability, 4-star potential, can play anywhere on the left or centre of midfield. And he's not a bad player to be fair, but after Matthew Freeman last year, virtually everyone will be a disappointment. But nice to have a decent player through. The rest of the intake is rubbish, but the big signing's coming in this summer and it's as good as a homegrown player if you get one under 18. So let's have a look at the schedule for what that's done to results, because you were with me as we got a very credible 0-0 draw at Chelsea as we bowed out of the Champions League at the last 16 stage. We then bounced back brilliantly against Coleraine and it's been 4 wins since then as well. 4-2 against Larne with a Howard hat-trick and a Mackenzie brace. Ian Lewington did peg us back from 2-0 up. A 3-0 win against Glentoran with Bird, Lonsdale and Howard. A 5-0 win against Warren Point with a Scully hat-trick, Cowan and Misselidis. And then a 2-1 win for the reserve side against Warren Point, this time a Jordan Howard brace, and not a great performance. But we are on course to do well domestically again, as long as we get that result against Linfield. And you can see the 3 biggest teams after the league split we've drawn at home, so we can't really complain. If we go and have a look though at the squad, we have got some real progression from our big young stars. We'll get back to the first team so you can see them. And the key man is Matthew Freeman. I mean, that guy is developing so quickly and he's going to be a superstar for this club. I have no doubt about it. We're looking ahead to this summer though, and without giving too much away, the likes of Stephen Cowan, probably in midfield some of those backup players like Damien Dunn, maybe even Jordan Gash, who's a regular in the first team. They will be moving on from this football club. We cannot afford to have players who aren't homegrown to push on. And I know a few of you have mentioned it in the comments, but don't forget with the homegrown rules as they are here, you've essentially only got 12 slots for non-homegrown players. Add to that our club is not progressing as quickly reputation-wise. At Bangor City and FM21, we were in the Champions League every year. We were 3-star reputation within 11 or 12 years. Here we're 15 years in, now 16 seasons, and we've only got a 2.5-star reputation. The league is starting to fall away a bit and it's happened before we've got 4 or 5 sides in Europe. So it's something that's held us back a little. And of course, the fact we haven't been in the Champions League every year means that we've not had the same amount of money coming in. Only 2 Champions League campaigns, which means, yes, we are now at nearly 50 million. In the Bangor save, we had over 100 million after 12 or 13 years. So there is definitely going to be a little bit of a slower progression in this save. I'm hoping when we get to that next point where the nation has to come with us, the rise will be sharper than it was in Wales. And we'll find out before the end if I'm right. Let's go and get through to the fixtures though, because it's Livingston in the SPFL Trust Trophy final. We're going to go back to our first 11 as strong as possible, and hopefully they'll all be fresh after their rest against Warren Point. We'll be back in a minute to run through the team. We've seen the quality they've got. It doesn't look like their star man's playing actually, but Dylan McLean is, and of course, it's a really lovely reunion. The first ever player we sold for money. He actually left us while we were still in the Championship, the second tier in Northern Ireland, and he has gone on to have a really good career. But hopefully, he'll be on a losing side today. Back in a minute to run through the team. Well, Johnny Merivale Austin is back from injury and he's into the team for this one. We also enjoy Vladimir for one of the last cup finals he'll play for us, albeit he's not had as good a season this time around. But this is the 11 we've gone for in full. Jim Morrison does start against Scottish opposition in the cup final. Stow and Reid the fullbacks with Bird and Davis at centre-half. Who drops out next year to allow the young centre-half in? And Bayavang and Gash the midfield too. Cowan and Vladimir out wide. Then Merivale Austin behind Scully up front. 68 for the season. Howard's got 44 behind him in fairness. Who's going to be the key man in the attacking line today? Scully is going from the start. Or will Howard be required from the bench? Let's go and get into it and find out. Well, Raphael Vicky's side does not contain their superstar, who I think is a Limby on the bench. I can't remember his name. We looked in the last episode. But it has got Dylan McLean at left back, and that is a brilliant story in itself. What an unexpected reunion as we go and get into the first half. For the most part here, we should be the stronger side. But we're away in Scotland, of course. They have got a fairly physical team. And they've got confidence and momentum. They're top of their league as well. Can we make it count in this one? Well, Livingston have had the better start as Hurt's got a free kick to the back post, headed away by Davis as far as Whittles. Being pressed early. It's whether we can nick it and get on the counter here. Bayavang forces it back. Carlisle will get there first though. And he goes surging down the left for them. Where's Dylan McLean when you need him? Back to Lees and Hilson. Livingston have support. They go back to Lynch. Big ball over towards Roberts. Into the box to Hurd. Headed away. It's out to the edge of the box again. I think we finally got it clear. Gash brings the ball away. Will it be a counter-attack? He goes down the line. He's broken free here. Jordan Gash away to Merivale Austin. Back to Gash again. Through to Cowan. Scully's in the middle. Merivale Austin arriving too. Vladimir's at the back post. And at the second time of asking, he nods it in. That is the quality we've got in this side. Under 3 or 4 minutes of pressure, a quick counter-attack, brilliant football, and there we are ahead. The problem though, Cowan won't be here next year, Gash won't be here next year, and neither, of course, will Vladimir. He takes the free kick this time as we look to build our lead. Bird at the back post can't get there. Lynch heads that away. I wonder if he's our former player as well. Back to Jordan Gash on the rebound, when Merivale Austin was offside. Let me just have a quick look at his centre-half for Livingston. It can't be him, can it? Who is the centre-half Lynch? It is. Oh my god, it's another reunion. I didn't even notice. Who in the comments spotted that one before me? John Lynch, our former player. We only had him, 3 or 4 years ago? And that's how far we've come. He's a very good defender. To be fair, this is a good squad they've got. As Cowan on the right finds Gash. Chance to cross. It's a brilliant ball for Cowan. Headed away as far as Gash again. He knocks down for Cowan, who doesn't do well with that. And now Livingston can counter us this time. Jones to Hilson, loads of players up, but the ball through his port and straight to Morrison. He can bring it away outside his box to Davis. Options in midfield, but chips it up towards Merivale Austin. Loses his header, but Bayavang's there. Merivale Austin in the centre circle, wide to Cowan. McLean wins it, our former man to Gash. Cowan again though. Chance to cut inside, there's 3 in the middle. Deflects up and is cleared away. Very scrappy attacks here. Not really leading so much as Lees gets it at the back. Big ball forward. Bird heads away to Vladimir. It's got to lead to something. Vladimir finds Scully. Scully beats the keeper. And it's in off the post for 2. The goal is disallowed. I thought it looked onside. Not given. It stays 1-0. As Davis has a free kick on the halfway line. We're working it forward now and starting to dominate. This time Scully is onside and his finish is just as clinical. Mark Scully gets his 69th for the season. Bayavang with the assist. And there's that quality coming to fruition. 2-0 with 20 minutes gone. And in fairness, it's been a pretty even game. It's a long ball forward by Livingston, who are now getting a little aimless, losing confidence, and we're getting possession and control in the game. Here is Stow to Vladimir. Takes on his man on the left. We're going to miss him so much. What a player he is. Into Mark Scully. And Merivale Austin nods in. Not had his best season. Has had so many little injuries. Even to the extent where you've been asking where he is in the comments. but he is fit and he is scoring this time. He's another player who's on the cusp of being replaced, as Vladimir puts in a free kick, headed away as far as him again. Back into Scully, Gash on the volley. What on earth was that? That was a stunning goal. Half volley. He's got a good old Di Canio technique on that, and it's in off the post for 4. We've seen the defence that Livingston have got here. John Lynch is a good player. He's still squad player level for us. They've still got Dylan McLean. They've got good players in their team, and we are wiping the floor. We've not dominated this game. We could have been 1 or 2 down, but we're ruthless, and we're having one of those days. It's in the box for Livingston. Bird wins the challenge. Whittles gets in though. Chance to shoot. It's a great goal. Tell you what, you're getting your money's worth if you've come to this final. Entertainment, 2 teams attacking. Maybe Livingston have been a bit too open, but this is a game that's just one constant highlight. McLean gets the ball away to Lees, and Livingston try to come again. Davis wins the header though to Bayavang. Him and Bird have got to be stronger now, prove that they deserve their place, as Merival Austin's in, Scully's in the middle, and he doesn't need him. 5-1 in 25 minutes. I don't understand it. From next season, we're going to adapt to Europe-only policy, essentially. We probably won't show episodes like this again. It will be just the European games and ones around it. But this is some performance in a game where Livingston have held their own going forward. Scully has got in. It's a good save from Anderson. And Scully picks it up again on the right. How many are we going to score? We've got a penalty now. Hilson brings down Cowan. Merival Austin on a hat-trick. And it could be 6-1 on the half an hour mark. This cup final is 1, isn't it? Lisburn Distillery 6, Livingston 1, and there's still 60 minutes to go. Could we keep it up and score 18? I mean, you look at the stats here as we approach half-time. We'd only had 1 more shot than Livingston there. It was 9-8 and we were 6-1 up. Vladimir has now picked up an injury. It might be the final time we see him if that's bad. And Missalidis will come on for him. Shame we couldn't hold on to the break, because then we could have saved the extra sub break. But Missalidis has got a free kick, headed as far as Scully. He nods it over the bar via the woodwork. We've had 6 minutes of the 3 added on, and the half-time whistle goes. 6-1 is the score. It's a dominant display. Now, what can we do to help our youngsters? Matthew Freeman is going to come on for 45 minutes. I'm also going to bring on Houston, who will replace Gash in midfield, or Merival Austin, who's got his hat-trick and building his fitness. And then finally, we're going to go for Cowan off. And I was going to say Lonsdale the youngster on, but you only get 3 subs, don't you? So that's the job done. The 2 youngsters are on the pitch. We've got half a game. Hopefully this one a little quieter. We're nearly 15 minutes in the second half before we see a highlight, and it's another set piece which we're so strong from. Davis coming out of the box finds Houston, and we are starting to put the pressure on. Treat it like a training session. David Bird, the centre-half, runs in. Oh my word. The centre-half has just run into the box, beaten 2, and put it in via a deflection past the keeper. 7-1, lots of dances going out down there. And look at the stats. It's 12 shots to 10. We've scored 7 from 9 on target. Every shot is in the back of the net. It's one of those days where everything we touch is turning to gold. And that was after a Warren Point game that we wasted about 30 chances. As Bird heads the ball away here, Bayavang gets into Houston. Finds Missalidis cutting in from the left. Up towards Scully, who's beaten to it by Lynch, his former teammate. Cashman gets it on the left-hand side. In fact, will they have overlapped, Scully and Lynch? I'm not sure. The Limby's in. That's a great finish. And they have been a bit unlucky because he is their star player. He's not been fit. He's just come back from injury. And he scored a crucial goal off the bench. If he'd started, if he'd been on the pitch that first 5 minutes when they were dominant, they might have gone a goal up and it'd be a different story. As Hurd has a free kick just tipped away by Morrison. Livingston having a go here. They're showing some pride. Well, we get to the end with no further highlights and no further problems. That has got to be a record for us. 7 goals from 15 shots and 12 on target. Clinical and ruthless are the only words to describe that. We're in to pick up the trophy. I think it's David Bird who's the skipper now. And he is going to lift the SPFL Trust Trophy. We're certainly starting to dominate the Scottish lower league sides now. It's probably the last time I'm going to show this final on camera. So let's enjoy it while it's there. We lift the trophy after a 7-2 win in a game that was a lot more even than the scoreline suggests. But the clinical edge is there. The Vladimir injury is the only worry. Now let's go and see how bad it is and get into the Irish Cup semi-final. Well, it's fitness test time ahead of the Irish Cup semi-final, and again, this is probably the last time you're going to see these domestic games on their own, so we've got to make the most of them. Kyle Carr and Miraval Austin both passed fitness tests. Crucially though this week, Leo O'Donnell has now agreed to join the club. He will be coming in at the start of the summer window, and it's not just the fact that he's a brilliant young player. He's also got a great reputation, lots of senior games already, and a very good personality too. We've also had the Golden Boy top 50 Wonder Kids list, and one of our players out on loan, Vukanic, is one of them. So the big January signing, who's still out on loan at the minute, he is 32nd in the Golden Boy rankings. We've also got Paleka to come back in the summer as well. So with Vladimir and Cowan probably moving on, their replacements are already here. Then it's just about getting in big replacements to come in for the 12 who aren't homegrown. For now though, let's go and get through to our fixtures, pick our team for today. So let's just get our team picked and see if we can get the job done. Well, a few players out today due to injury, suspension and whatever else. So firstly, Vladimir out for 3 to 5 weeks. He'll probably be back if we get to the final of this, but may not feature in the league again. We also have Mackenzie suspended on the bench, so he drops out for youngster Owen Kidd. And then we've also switched the goalkeepers, so Morgan Hassan, a Northern Ireland #1, gets back in. That means our team for today only sees 2 changes from the start. Missalidis in on the left-hand side, he'll be first choice the rest of this year, and Morgan Hassan in between the sticks. Kidd on the bench, the rest stays the same. Let's go and see how we get on. Well, it should be a pretty comfortable win this. Tonarona is suspended for them, who is one of their best midfield players. Ian Lewington, to be fair, has become a star for them. He's starting in the number 10 role behind Ambrosio, who has now reached his potential after his initial big injury. Kieran McAleer, we tried to sign at right back. Thank God we didn't with what happened with Matthew Freeman. But still loads of quality in their side. They've actually got Caulfield on the bench, who they signed from us last summer. He's a younger option. They're back up to 3rd this year at the moment, so it looks like Larne are starting to come back up the table. And if they can get into European group stage football next year, then maybe they'll push on again. Let's go and get into the first half. I feel confident ahead of this one. We're at Windsor Park for a big Irish Cup game. I'm pretty sure, although Larne do cause us problems, we'll come out on top. Well, it's a free kick for Larne to start us off. 11 minutes on the clock. It's a big ball over the top. And it's headed away as far as Miraval Austin, who nods it down for Reed. I'm hoping again we can maybe get 2 or 3 up. Get in Matthew Freeman, Houston for extended appearances. We've got to keep developing that youth as Reed gets in from the right. Big switch to Missalidis. Header to the back post. And it's off the woodwork. Away as far as Stow. He can't control it. It's a Larne throw. But a very positive opening for us. Lots of the ball, lots of chances. Just can't quite take it at the minute. As Cowan gets away down the right-hand side. Cuts it into Jordan Gash, who's got the ball over the top. Instead play short for Cowan. Are we going to have the opposite today? Loads of chances, but none going in. Through ball to Miraval Austin. Where's the clinical edge? Up to Mark Scully. Off the woodwork again. There's the difference to the Livingston game. Off the woodwork and in that one. Off the woodwork and bouncing away in this one. As Dunlop on the right down for Evans. Larne on the attack for the first real time. Big ball over the top, but they can't go direct against us. We're too strong at the back. Gash finds the big ball over to Scully. Director's work for us. Whitworth makes the save. Oh, this could be one of those days. We're having chances galore, and we are not finding the back of the net. Reeder's got the opportunity with an outswinging corner. To the back post. Players up. Headed away by Larne. They've packed that area knowing it's our strength. And Kennedy brings it away to Dunlop. They've got a man over here. Dunlop away down the right. Very good from Bayavang. A dirty little tactical foul, but on this occasion, I applaud it, because we could have been in big trouble, as White's got the corner for Larne. Kennedy up, Gash off the line. Oh, they nearly took the lead against the run of play. Missalidis brings it away. Cowan's release must be offside. And he is, but a big warning sign there. Larne have levelled up the shots on target, and in truth, it was the best chance of the match, as Missalidis takes a free kick. Good save from Whitworth. Another very exciting game. But this time, Larne have come a lot closer, as Reed has got the chance to put the corner in. We need a goal to settle the nerves. To the back post, is headed away again. Bayavang will get there. Options inside include Cowan and Bird to Davis, making his way back from the corner. Now in possession finds Cowan. Chips up to Miraval Austin, who can't get there. It finds Cowan. On the right back to Reed, chance to cross. Finds Jordan Gash to Bayavang. 30 yards out, goes left to Stow. There's 2 banks of 4. We can't break it down. Stow gets to the byline. Good ball in. Cowan's up with a header. And finally, we get the opening goal. Miles Stow with a cross, Stephen Cowan with a header, 1-0 Lisburn Distillery. It's about time. Well, following that, it looks like the game has completely settled down. We get to the 44th minute without any further action, though Gash is on the ball now for Merivale Austin, who loses it, but it's straight back to Gavin Reid, who finds Scully. Great ball to Merivale Austin. That is lovely. That is the front two at its best. Scully with the little knockdown. Great controlled finish from Merivale Austin. And Lisburn Distillery, just like that, are able to change the game and turn it on its head. 2-0 we lead at half-time. It should be job done. We're happy with the performance, but we did have a scare at the other end. We've got to be careful. If we can get to the hour mark, we will make those changes. You can see Bayavang's not really doing that well. Reed's on the yellow card. They're candidates to come off as Gash can work down the right to Cowan. Chance to get the cross in. Scully's up, but Kennedy beats him to it. Stow back in though. Scully again. Misselidis this time. Heads over the bar. Really good play from Distillery. You can see domestically. Bar Linfield, there's no real challenge. Bird is knackered as well. We've got to keep an eye on fitness. And with an hour on the clock, I think we are now going to make those changes. Reed on a yellow off for Freeman. Kidd will come on for Bird, who's knackered. Bayavang replaced by Chris Houston. Misselidis not had the best game. He'll come off for... Who can play off the left? Nobody, really. Not going to be him coming off. Merivale Austin will get a breather again. It will be Lonsdale on for him. We'll save the last sub. Another 10 minutes. But 2-0, comfortable, and youngsters about to come on. As Cowan gives the ball away, he might change that. White brings it down the left for Larne. Options in the middle if he can find them. Gets to the byline, the skipper. Good ball in. Bird does well. Reed flicks it away. Hutchins on the ball though. Gets it across to McAleer. Chance to shoot. Does, but it deflects up to Reed, who clears. It's out to the left again for Warburton. And the pressure finally goes. I was about to say not been as vintage a performance as Livingston, but in truth, we've had more shots. We've had more opportunities. We've just not been as clinical with them. The last sub is going to be Jordan Gash, who's knackered. We'll replace him with Damien Dunn. Not sure which way round they're best. Don't think it makes much difference. So we're going to go for Damien Dunn in centre mid. Cowan will stay on the right and Lonsdale as the number 10. We've got 15 minutes to go. It's comfortable without being spectacular. We've got a throw on the left-hand side here with Lonsdale. The Stow, who set up that crucial first goal, finds Davis. Into Houston. Damien Dunn with space. Finds Cowan on the right. Scully's in there, as is the centre midfielder. Is that a penalty? Looked a little bit harsh to me. The referee has given it. The commentary suggests it's fair. Mark Scully has got the chance to score. Will he take it? We've seen him miss a few this year, but he doesn't miss that one. Dispatched into the corner for 3-0. 70 for the season for Scully, and another Irish Cup final appearance on the way for Distillery. Well, into the 89th minute, it's a long corner, which Morgan Hassin flaps at a little bit. He'd had a good game till that point, gives it away to Ambrosio, whose shot is blocked. And Stow gets his body in the way. We finished the game with a 3-0 win. We're through to the Irish Cup final. Now let's go and see when we're next going to be back. But to make this series a bit quicker now and get through as much as possible, I'm going to combine things. So the next episode will be our season review, but also with the Irish Cup final to finish. Unless the league gets very tasty or we drop some silly points, you don't really need to see what happens between now and then. So the plan is, unless the title goes to the wire, we'll show the Irish Cup final in our end of season review. If of course it does go to the final day, then we'll show the final league game too. But it'll probably depend on what result Linfield get against us. If you did enjoy this one though, 2 very big victories, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of the first summer signing. Do you think he's going to make a big impact in addition to the 2 Croatians returning from loan? We are going to make a lot of change this summer. I plan on going big and making a final push of this. If you want to stay up to date and see how it goes, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back with our Bristol City save tomorrow. It's been an eventful few days in that save. Catch up with the latest season if you haven't seen it yet. There's also links to the top 3s, of which there was a new one last weekend. And of course the football podcast for loads of predictions from the real footballing world in England. There's also the Twitch channel for regular live streams, HelloFresh UK in the description, and all the other links you can't find anywhere else. But thank you very much for your support as always, for watching another big season. We'll be back to finish it off next time before what should be a very exciting summer transfer window. I'll see you there.